Alright, I don't really have a script, so hopefully this isn't too painful, but this is going to be custom netcode with BepInEx or Lethal Company using the NetcodePatcher, and we'll need the Lethal Company Unity template. Hopefully if you're at this step, you're decently or somewhat familiar with BepInEx modding, and you already have Visual Studio and everything ready to go. I guess we can first talk about why this is needed. This video will be timestamped so you can like hop around, but basically it replicates the IL post processing. So if we look, this should have a ton. Yeah, you see all of these like RPC handlers. Like this doesn't exist in the source code. This is made where we see any method that has these attributes, any RPC attributes, basically it's a post-processing step where it goes through, finds these, and says, okay, we're going to generate all of this. We're going to generate all of this, and we'll set up these to handle it. So without that, I mean, you can have these little attributes on your methods, but it won't do anything. So this will, like when you make your custom methods, do all of that and, you know, make it actually work. I guess basically how they work, or how I've been approaching it, is there's server RPC attribute, and then there would be the server RPC require ownership false attribute. And then there's the client RPC. Okay, so server RPC, only the host, server, or I believe also owner can execute this. So you'll give a method this attribute, then all the contents, if that's called, the server will execute it, or yeah, it basically protects it. So you can change logic that, you know, only the server will run things commonly like, you know, I guess spawning logic or internal things. RPC require ownership false, so any client, remote clients, you know, non-hosts can call this, and it will basically request the server to execute any code in here in that method. And so you could have you know, a remote client push a button and call this, and then it'll do something. And often what you'll see is these server RPCs will immediately call client RPCs, because client RPCs, this attribute, this method, the contents will be executed on every single client. So the server will execute this, and it'll say, okay, let's gather all the clients, let's send this to them, and then they're going to execute whatever is in here. So if we had a server RPC require ownership false that it called a client RPC, that all it did was just debug.log hello, then, you know, we have some item where any client can hold it and left click and it executes this, it'll execute that, and then all clients, their log will say debug.log. So this is generally the flow of it. I mean, that's pretty much it. This is how you request the server to do something. This is how you make all clients do something. And then, you know, the network objects will have properties and fields like is host and is server. And then the network manager will have things. There's like the local player controller. That's actually, I can't quite remember where that's from. Maybe that's start of round, but that's a Lethal Company thing. So yeah, there's ways that you can you know, solve your problems and work around it. But anyways, okay, so getting into it, you'll have to download this and set it up. It's like 5 steps. It's pretty good to go. Actually, you'll want this, but for what we're doing, I don't think we really even need this. I think we just need Unity 22.3.9. If you're going to be making an item with custom netcode or whatnot, of course you need all this. But what we're just doing actually is NetworkManager. Maybe that's a bad name. I should. Oh well. Can add a network object. Those two are good to uncheck. make a prefab, add it to an asset bundle, and then I don't know if I downloaded this or not. A lot of people use this asset bundle browser. I just made a little editor script thing. You can find it everywhere. I'll open it up in a second. Yeah, there it is. But with the asset bundle browser, I imagine, yeah, you just go to build and hit build, and then it will go there. But yeah, now we have this little asset bundle netcode mod. You can open the manifest and the prefab. So this is the string we want to load this guy with. Kind of a pain you have to do this. Maybe you don't even have to do this. I don't know. But we can create a new project now. Make sure you use this one, the .NET standard, netcode tutorial. Okay, .NET standard framework. So this is a simple setup. We have the plugin being defined and everything. We have Harmony ready to go. Then we're grabbing our asset bundle we just created. This will get it as long as it's beside the DLL. So it's pretty agnostic. As long as it's in the plugins folder and beside each other, they'll be good. And then this is loading the asset from the string. So this is again in Notepad++. And it's also the same as the directory here. So assets, netcode tutorial, NetworkManager, my mod, assets, NetCode.prefab. Okay, so we can actually create, we're going to want to add a thing to this. So let's create a folder, managers, add an item, manager, I don't know. Okay, so we want this to inherit from a network behavior. Now add netcode. Let's make this public, why not? .managers, okay, and then we'll want network manager my mod instance. Actually, that should be public static void awake instance equals this, and we can put our netcode in here, and we should be good really. So we can come back. Net manager prefab.add component, what would we call it? Network manager my mod. Okay, so we have that going. So let's create a patch. Sorry, this is all pretty disorganized. I'm just going off, doing whatever comes to me. Patches. Player controller. Let's do it so if a player dies, it sends a message to everyone telling them which player died. So I believe the thing is kill player. This dot kill player, damage player. So this happens locally. Kill player. It does call an RPC. Okay, so you know what? What we could even do, like thinking efficiently is we could patch this server RPC and get it to call our client RPC, because that way we're killing two birds with one stone. Then we just kind of tag off of this, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'll be patching kill player, I guess, so that we're also creating our own server RPC. But if I was like doing this for real, I think I would just patch this and then create a client RPC called like notify players client RPC or something. But yeah, okay, and takes player ID, players manager, that's start of round. Okay, so that's how it's retrieving the relevant player. So we can get the name that way. Yeah, okay. So, add item, PlayerControllerB patcher. Okay, Harmony. HarmonyLib patch, type of PlayerControllerB down here. Okay, Harmony postfix, why not? Harmony patch, and the method name we were doing kill player, and that's what it's called, right? Give me back what I want. Kill player, yeah, that's good. Force true, so this doesn't get the ID. I guess this just gets local player and passes the ID. This dot player client ID, okay. Yeah, sure. What are we doing again? Oh, notify players of death. And then we'll want PlayerControllerB instance. Okay. So kill player has happened. You know what? We should check these just in case. Man, I'm hungry. Just in case. You never know. Doesn't hurt. And then we can just do the NetworkManager mymod dot instance dot, well, actually, sorry. Let's do dot is oh my god, is host, no, or instance dot is server. I don't think you ever will be server, but maybe this will be more future proof, who knows. Okay, so in here we can set up our guy. So we want the attribute, we're going to want server RPC require ownership equals false, public void death notification server RPC. They all have to be suffixed with server RPC or client RPC appropriately. Okay, and then we're going to want our client RPC, yeah, let's do it, void death notification server RPC. Okay, so these are like good to go. Death notification server RPC. And then actually we want the ID, don't we? Yeah, we do. And I think they're ulongs. Oops. get out of there. Okay, what is it? It's like hudmanager.instance.notify shoot message display tip. So header text. Let's do player has died. You can do now dead. Sure. Okay, and then if that's just start of round dot instance dot all player object. Oh wait, what was that? All player objects. Is this a dictionary? How do they grab it again? ID. Oh, you know what? What is this object now? Game object. Maybe this is not the way to be doing this. I thought that this was different, but player username. Sure. Ugh. Oh well, who cares? Okay. So that's that. The patcher. So if we're the host, we can just call NetworkManager.myMod.instance.client. What's the client RPC? Death notification. Why did I suffix that with server? Client RPC. We need the thing. Request death notification. Sorry about that. So yeah, it has to be, if it's a client RPC, it's suffixed with client RPC. If it's a server RPC, it's suffixed with server RPC. So instance.player client ID. Oh, that makes sense. That's probably player. Yeah, I think I was thinking of Steam ID. That's what I use in my mods for complex saving, or player-based saving rather. Okay, this should like be good to go. Oh, we have to add it to the thing. We have to add it as a network prefab. That's the whole reason we made this prefab, so that other clients know what it is and stuff. God, this is so disorganized. I'm sorry. What do we want again? Game Network Manager? Come here. Game Network Manager. Harmony. Let's do another postfix. Doesn't matter too much. Oops. Oh, I'm all over the place. Okay, and we can just patch start. Void. We'll need the instance. And let's grab a ref just to be safe. Oh. What did I call it again? NetManager Prefab. Okay, that should do it. Okay, so we have to set up the NetCodePatcher now. So I've downloaded it right here. You only need one on your system, but if you're uploading to GitHub, which you should, I recommend putting it here and instructing contributors to, because then the post build event will just work for everyone. But here we have the deps and data managed, Control A, copy, paste, and that's the only step, isn't it? We're like good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. So we have to add this in. Just like that. And then it's best to set it up as a post build event. So they have an example here. So how we can do that is go into properties, build events, post build event, whatever you called it. And is that what I called it? NetcodePatcher. Yeah. Initializing added netcode tutorial to patch list, patching netcode tutorial. Patch netcode successfully. Okay. I just realized, well, I launched and then got an ugly error, but I forgot to make, no, you don't put that there. I haven't even eaten yet, so I forgot to make this static, but all patches have to be static, of course. And I also just remembered we have to actually create this guy. We registered it and set it up, but we need to create it. So let's just start off round patcher. Let's just get this going. HarmonyLib. Harmony patch. Start of round. Okay, so instantiate, wait, that's, well, pretty sure it'll only be the host running this anyway, but just in case. So, you always instantiate. What was it? NetManager Prefab. Doesn't really matter where. And go.getComponent. Wow, I really need to eat. Network object.spawn. Okay, so they'll create it, they'll spawn it, and it's good to go. Okay, problem. I always make post fixes. This has to be a prefix. Pause the video if you want to guess why. It's because if this is a postfix, then isPlayerDead gets set to true, so this will get returned. So we need to prefix before, and we still do these checks, so it'll only run when appropriate, and then it'll do it. But otherwise, this will always return false. Alright, let's build and test. Okay, this is our remote client, this is our host. Perfect. Came through. And now, oh, I wish I chose a more convenient place where it's easier to kill yourself. Are those bees? Oh. So this is remote client. This is host. It's land. Nice. Okay, that is that. I'll upload this to GitHub, so it's a simple example. And you know, maybe, I'm very new to this stuff. I've been doing this for 1 month now. But this and the whole prefab might not be necessary. But I mean, if you're creating a more complex mod, it will become worth it to create your own little bus for everything or what have you. And then yeah, with like you can check on my GitHub, I'll have like the late game upgrades and cleaning company, which will be, they pretty much have examples. Like late game upgrades pretty much has an example for anything you could want to do. And yeah, for custom objects, since it is a network object, or I mean, sorry, it derives from a network behavior and it's live and valid, you can just have your RPCs on your like item script and it's completely fine. You don't need a separate little manager. But yeah, didn't really have a plan for this, but hopefully it helps some people out.